Hi, I'm Jim Gordon.
I'm Lita Leapin.
And welcome to another edition of Our City Tonight.
Well, if you're in Vancouver, you got to check out this gorgeous area of Cole Harbour where we are right now, and we're standing on the sky deck of Pacific Yachts from Pacific Yacht Charters.
That's right. It's blowing a little bit. My hairpiece is going all over the place. But it's okay.
I'll hold it down,
Would you
Jim.
mind? Actually, it's late winter and it's sunny and warm here. But
This is amazing.
we are going to check out all that this yacht has to offer. We're going to do some cooking. We're going to check out some cocktails, talk to some of the folks that run this ship. But hey, let's get right to what?
Our City Tonight.
This episode of Spirits Up is brought to you by Time Winery and McWater's Collection.
You know, it usually takes your daughter about
Cheers.
4 or 5 takes to do it. You got it in one. Right, Crystal Lee? Well, if you come to Vancouver or you live in Vancouver, of course, you've come down and checked out the landmark hotel in this area, the Pan Pacific Hotel right down by the water. And of course, we're at one of the big restaurants in town. It's Five Sails Restaurant. And if you're watching the wine segment, no, this is not Crystal Lee, obviously, sitting with us this time.
We're loving that we have Harry here, again celebrating that 50th vintage, and we're so excited you could join us today. Actually, about a year ago today, you sat down with us and went through some wine. So what do we have today?
Well, we're going to start here with the White Meritage. This is a blend of Sauvignon Blanc and Semillon. It has a hint of oak. And we have not yet released the wine. It's the 2017 vintage. It just got VQA, and it's about to be released imminently.
Very nice. From Time Winery. Huh? This is yours. Okay, let's just take a little taste here.
Oh, delicious. I can see afternoon and evening wine.
We always say to your daughter too that she's turned us on to so many wines that we normally would just drink in the summertime, but this is an all year.
Well, I can't think of why you would only drink any.
I was strictly a white guy until I met your daughter, Crystal, of course, Harry's Crystal Lee's father. I was strictly a white wine from late April till October.
You know, she didn't drink wine at all until she met me.
Good thing you guys ran into each other.
Excellent. So tell us a little about Meritage in our last little bit here.
Well, Meritage is an association that started in California, and after a lot of coercing, bribery, and whatnot, I managed to be the one to bring the term Meritage to Canada, making it for the first time an international term. And the rules are pretty straightforward, that you have to make Meritage from specific varieties that originated in Bordeaux. You have to blend them, and as long as no single variety exceeds 90% of the blend, it would qualify. So in Canada, Meritage can only be used by VQA producers. So when we brought it to Canada, we trademarked it. The trademark in Canada is owned by VQA Canada. But today there are producers in Israel, south of France, Mexico, Australia, and New Zealand. So it's becoming a much more wide term of taking the old world tradition of blending specific varieties to make sure that the end result is greater than the sum of the parts.
Well, congratulations
Very nice,
to you,
yes.
and we
Cheers.
thank you for bringing
Thanks.
this beautiful wine here.
We'll be back here at the famous Five Sails Restaurant at the Pan Pacific Hotel with more of Harry and another great wine coming up later in the show. Well, we're here at the Score in downtown Vancouver. If you're watching in the rest of the country, that's on the hip Davie Street, and we're with a couple of friends who are also talented actresses who have been on our show before. We've got them both back to talk because they both have shows airing on Netflix globally. It's Tana Gillis and Lisa Chandler. Welcome to this very relaxed, informal discussion.
Well, we want to get right to it, definitely, and you both are working a lot right now. You, Tammy, I'm going to start with, is that you're in a great new sci-fi series called Ghost Wars. Can you give us a little bit of an idea what Ghost Wars is about and how your character factors into that show?
Sure. Ghost Wars takes place on an island, and there's only one bridge in and out. And this earthquake happens, and during the earthquake, the portal to heaven or hell closes.
Ooh, scary.
So anyone who dies or was a ghost in the town is now remain there. So there are good ghosts, there are bad ghosts. You don't know who's a ghost. And how I factor in is I play a Lambda mercenary, which is a highly skilled operative, and I'm there to protect my boss's best interests. And I can't say a lot more than that, or I'll give it all away.
Lisa, you are on this really cool hot show. It's got a lot of steam right now called Altered Carbon.
Yes.
And can you tell our folks out there about your character, whose name I can't seem to get right, Mary Lou.
Mary Lou.
Mary Lou, or as I call her, Lucy. Tell us about your character on that show.
So my character, Mary Lou, she was just a regular girl that kind of got into the system of prostitution, and she lives in this world called Head in the Clouds, and it's a sci-fi show, so it all takes place. There's so much going on. Everybody has basically a stack in the back of their neck, and basically you can download who you are as an individual.
Consciousness, yeah,
exactly.
right.
Your consciousness into a stack, and you can basically re-sleeve your body, so you're a completely new body every time you die. You take the stack out. So me, I was restacked, and I am a new person up in this Head in the Clouds. And how I am incorporated to the actual show is I was murdered, and so they're trying to bring it kind of full circle of like the story, how I was murdered and who murdered me. So it kind of bounces back and forth of them trying to figure out a main murder of Bancroft and how I was murdered, and it kind of just brings everybody together. So it was a great show.
There's just such exciting shows now, the sci-fi shows. I mean, Jim and I were talking about that when we were younger. It was only for geeks and that. Now it's really kind of highbrow, and there's a lot of people watching sci-fi. So I'm going to start with you, Tammy. Why do you think sci-fi has just reached such great levels and everyone's watching now?
I think because it's more about the characters, you know, and the relationships between the characters and them dealing with things. And I know with Ghost Wars, it's about like all the people in this town are these like interesting characters, and it's like it's crazy, and you never know what's going to happen next, and it's exciting and scary, and
But they make it almost believable because of our
Absolutely,
technology
right?
moving ahead. And so for you, why is sci-fi so exciting?
Right, I think it goes in the same, but I think it's also the quality of writing is up the ante a lot of it. Like there's Hulu, there's Netflix, there's all these different platforms. So writers really have to up their game. They have to keep it real. They have to keep it, you know, with also times that are changing. So I feel that the quality of writing has changed a lot from like the 90s, from early 2000s, where it was like, it was believable in a sense, but it just, you could tell that it was a little bit false in a way. For some, you're watching these shows and you're like, you start to question your own moral and ethics of like, wow, that could work, you know?
And I also think it's because it's more affordable to make these shows. Like if you think about it, back in the day, they were shooting on film, right? And now it's television, and they can shoot it cheaper, so they can invest more in developing the story and making it look good, right?
And because it's funny that it hasn't diluted the product, having more outlets, but it's given more products the chance to get out there. Because some of these shows would have been passed on 30 years ago because there was only like a handful of stations, right? But you're right about the writing, but we should, in the few seconds we have left,
Let us know what you guys are both
yeah,
up
exactly.
to. So
She put the
why
words
don't we
right into my
start
mouth.
with
That's what I was going to say.
What's coming up next?
For acting, I'm doing, you know, day calls on like tons of local shows. Supernatural, I just had a great, fun little gig on that. But I'm still stunt doubling on Supergirl, so that's keeping me very busy. We're on season 3.
Oh,
it's great. Love the show. Watch it. But for acting wise, it's great because I can bounce between the stunts and the acting. So I get to play on all the shows like Ghost Wars and all the other different sci-fi shows. So it's literally changing. I got one show that's coming out. I can't really talk about it, so that'll be the next episode.
Please. You're still pretty
But,
tough.
yeah, so Supergirl's like my main show right now that I love being a part of. That's great.
And Tammy, I know your shows. Tell us a little bit about what we can be expecting.
Well, Ghost Wars premieres worldwide on Netflix on Friday, this Friday, March 2nd. And then I have a really big month coming up in March. It's really, really fortunate. On March 11th, Fixer Upper Deadly Deed, which is on Hallmark Movies and Mystery. And then on March 17th, I'm in a rom-com with Hallmark on the Hallmark Channel called The Sweetest Heart. And then something I'm really, really excited about is Siren, which is on Freeform. Has their big 2-hour premiere on March 29th.
And who doesn't like mermaids? These are scary mermaids. So.
Yes, this is not your Disney mermaid, that's for sure.
Guys, thanks for joining us here on a lovely day outside. Rest of the country, ugly. It's Tammy and Lisa, and look for them on great shows on Netflix and a whole bunch of other stuff coming up. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for
Thank you. Susan, Dan, you have a bunch of really great projects that all have a humanitarian bent, saving the oceans, helping people. How did you start on this vein?
Yeah, well, it was kind of an interesting trickle down. I was over in East Africa helping to get a school built. And while I was over there, I stumbled across these really fascinating projects that got me very inspired.
Wonderful. And one of them is your jewelry, which we're both wearing here, and we have it on showcase here. This is making some big waves. You've just been covered in one of the very national magazines, Fresh Magazine, for the newest collection. Tell us a little bit about this collaboration.
Sure. So it's a collaboration that we're doing with a university in Italy. We run a course for senior design students in Milan.
Nice.
They do the design side of it, and then we started with 5. We're now up to 200 Maasai women in Kilimanjaro, and they hand make it based on the Italian students' design. So we're fusing Italian high fashion with the rich African beading tradition.
And it's gorgeous. It's not your usual granola beading. This is very, very high-end jewelry.
Absolutely.
And you're also really helping the community there. What were the Maasai women doing before that? I love this story.
Well, yeah, we're what's really got me interested as well is that we're using fashion to help fight deforestation, because prior to this, that's what the women were doing for employment. So we've now been able to shift the women away from deforestation to working on our jewelry collaboration.
Wonderful, wonderful. And it's affordable, very high-end luxury jewelry.
Yes.
Now, you're also involved with these gorgeous handbags that take all the waste of from the cows that they consume and the goats. It's gorgeous work, but what do we have behind us here? These creatures have really caught my eye. A little bit on this project.
Yeah, this is also East Africa. It's Kenya, though, started by a marine biologist.
Oh, wonderful.
She wanted to try and raise awareness about our big problem with ocean garbage.
Yes.
Yeah, and in particular there, they have huge amounts of old flip-flops that wash up on the beach there. So this is a very creative solution that she came up with, now employing 750 local Kenyans to clean up the beaches, make them into beautiful multicolored blocks, and then 50 local artists to carve them into art. So we're literally taking an environmental problem and through human imagination and creativity, turning it into art.
Wonderful. And I know that you can get these all custom made for businesses. Just a great, you have a bunch of other companies that you work with as well that are all the same bent. Just great projects, and I applaud you.
Oh, thank you so much. I really love the model of using fashion and beautiful art as a vehicle for positive humanitarian and environmental change.
Wonderful.
This health and wellness segment is brought to you by Viva Nutraceuticals.
Well, something we can talk about all the time on this show is sleep, because both Lita and I suffer from lack of. Dr. Sonia, I was going to talk to you about how little I sleep, but then you told me that you guys have a small child. So
I will beat you in that competition.
I was going to say, I'm going to just minimize how much I want to talk to that. But in all seriousness, that's something that a lot of people suffer from. What are you hearing most from people when it comes to the lack of sleep and why they're struggling with it?
Well, sometimes situational, like in my case, I have a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old, and sometimes it's hormonal, other times it's stress. Other times it's diet, and it's their digestive system that's keeping them awake.
Right.
So there's many different factors that contribute to lack of sleep.
Talk about diet. I mean, one thing that I'm really trying not to do over the last year or two is eat late. Is that something you recommend to people, that if you're going to bed at 11, what's the latest someone should be eating?
I would say 6.
6.
Yeah, we're advocates of intermittent fasting, so we get people to eat in a really short window of time to give their body that time to digest and rest before having to go to sleep.
Right.
So your body's not doing it at nighttime.
And what about, I mean, it goes without saying, most people don't have the time to exercise, which is awful, but that must contribute to a lack of sleep and the trouble with it, no?
Yeah, absolutely. And also time of day that you're exercising. It's important to do it in the morning because that's when your cortisol is really high.
Oh, okay.
So if you're doing it in the evening, exercise is stress on your body. So your cortisol will rise up, not letting your melatonin to rise, which we need in order to actually fall asleep.
What would be, I know I don't get it, but what would be a good solid night's sleep hour-wise?
I would say 8 hours.
Do most people that see you get 8
No,
hours? Very few.
no one does. Yeah, but 8 hours is what you need, because that's the time your body's regenerating, it's recuperating, it's replenishing itself, it's dumping all these toxins out. So you need time to do that. And if you're not doing that, your body's going to take that away from somewhere else and creating those other symptoms.
And you and your husband are both professional, working long hours, 2 children, as you mentioned. I'm sure every generation says, oh my God, the stress of our times, but are you seeing more people? Is there an increase? I've read that there is a lot more. Am I right, wrong?
No, absolutely. Everyone's nervous systems is really heightened. We're in survival state all the time.
Right.
So you can't thrive and survive at the same time. So until we really relax our nervous system, we learn to meditate, we do things for ourselves, it's going to take time for us to actually settle in to our bodies and not be in our mind all the time thinking.
And you also talked about, if you could touch briefly on food and diet and how much processed food plays compared to, you know, a generation ago.
Yeah, well, anything processed is going to increase your glucose levels. So again, it's going to keep you awake, affecting your sleep. But if you're eating more good fats, which we're not doing because, you know, fat's been shunned by the sugar industry, so it's really important to get the good nutrients in before bed so you actually can have that good night's sleep.
Excellent, excellent advice, and I wish you luck with your sleep.
Thank you, you too.
I'll do my best, but you've given some good pointers to our viewers today, and thank you very much for the time.
Thank you for having me.
This edition of the Health and Wellness segment has been brought to you by Viva Nutraceuticals.
Insozia is an effective sleep aid that can help you wake up in the morning feeling well rested. The traditional Chinese herbal medicine is patented and has been used for centuries to help relieve insomnia due to heart-blood deficiency. Insozia is made in Canada, formulated by doctors, and manufactured by experts with more than 20 years of experience. For more information, go to vivahealthsolutions.com.
Well, we're on the sky deck here at the Pacific Yacht from Pacific Yacht Charters, and we're with our good friend and PR pal, Suzanne Girard.
And Suzanne, I hear that the chef is cooking up some great food. Can we go down and try some?
Absolutely. Let's head down and we'll talk to Chef Marty Raw. He's preparing some amazing tastings for us today.
Okay, because it's a little chilly out here right now.
Well, one of the cool things that you can get on this yacht is amazing food, and it's not usually available on some of those floating strange boats that go out there to have their own executive chef on board. So what do we have here in front of us, Marty?
Chef, this looks
we
great.
have chicken roulade with roasted carrot puree, some edamame beans, and taleggio and Parmesan potato croquettes.
Wow.
And last but not least, we have a natural chicken jus emulsified with some butter.
Wow.
And everything is made in-house.
I was going to say, this is all, you're not bringing food onto the ship.
No.
No, not at all.
And how different is it from you? You know, you've been a chef at other restaurants. How different is it to come onto the yacht and be cooking in this atmosphere here?
Great question. You have to rethink everything that you've ever learned.
Wow.
Because one, for obvious reasons, spacing is different.
Yes.
Right, of course,
You've got a little bit smaller area to cook in.
And also, once the yacht leaves, if you forget something on dock, that's it.
You're stuck.
All these issues you don't have to worry about. And now, if we're booking a party on here, are we able to sit with you and consult on what we want? Do you sit and say this is what we offer?
Yes.
Yeah? Oh, that's wonderful. Okay.
Right. So, and there's lots of weddings, there's lots of corporate events. What are some of the things that you get asked to cook?
You keep asking the questions. I'm eating this excellent food.
You know, one of the greatest things working here is that I get different clients from different parts of the world, from different ethnic backgrounds, different type of parties.
Like Vancouver, of course.
Yeah, exactly. So, like for Edgewater Casino, who came on board, they requested some lamb chops, some roasted pig, sort of like a Chinese-style banquets, and 2 or more traditional French style.
Wow.
And we should also say, not that it goes without saying, but you also put out like the canapes and appies and things like that as well, right? So you can have a good meal on the ship when you're out in the harbor and going around False Creek and everything like that.
Yes.
Very nice.
So it's pretty much any type of food you can ever think of, we do it.
Wow.
This is fantastic.
That is amazing.
Congratulations, because I know that you have your own galley, of course, kitchen, but it is small, but you do a great job, obviously. So, Marty, Chef Marty, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very wonderful.
Thank you for sharing your great recipes with us. Well, not only do they have fabulous food on the yacht, they have this amazing bartender who is going to share some of the key cocktails with us today.
Yeah, Chelsea, we've got 2 drinks here. I'm anxious, very anxious to try both. Of
course,
and one of them might be or might not be named Our City Tonight cocktail, but we'll let you talk. What are we going to try first?
Giving away the secret.
Sounds great. So tonight we're going to try the PYC Coastal Gin and Tonic first.
Okay.
So we're using Sheringham Gin, Brookside Tonic, both local products, a little bit of fresh cucumber and lemon.
That's important too, isn't it? I know more people like yourself, mixologists, using as much local as they can.
Yeah, we really honed in on our bar list this year on local products and just experiencing the terroir of the water and the local scenery and everything.
Terroir.
Excellent. Okay, so we're going to try this one.
This one's a great welcome drink. It's a nice aperitif. It goes well when you come on the boat.
Nice. Oh,
Pairs
my.
well with.
That is absolutely spectacular. Now, that's your own little kind of recipe there?
Yeah, it's a very simple recipe, gin and tonic. What I am shining here is definitely the gin and the local tonic, for sure.
But you know what's funny, that Lita and I have done this on our show before, where we've talked about the fact that adding that special tonic or that special soda really goes a long way, doesn't it?
Yeah, it makes a huge difference, for sure.
Yeah, and visually very beautiful as well.
For sure.
Okay, what do we got going on next? This looks interesting.
Yeah, so our second drink here is a play on a margarita called Sky High. It's a twist on a cocktail I did for a competition actually as well, which is a Canadian competition.
Okay, yeah.
It's actually a health boost as well. We've got bee pollen, honey, tequila, and lime. So really
Health
simple.
drink, so we can drink this in the morning.
You can.
Well, let's not go that. No, you don't want to be that healthy. You'll be very healthy by noon.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's a great one. Bee pollen is a natural energy booster as well, so it's a great after night drink, maybe after the dance floor or
And
things like that.
I've said this before. I'm not a big margarita fan, but this is really nice.
That is delicious.
Wow, and you're making these on the boat.
Yes, we are making these on the boat.
Very nice. Wow, very cool. Now, again, are you always constantly trying to come up with new cocktails with names? Like, which one would be Our City Tonight?
We can say this. I mean, you guys reach for the sky, right? So.
Oh, wow.
We like you.
Okay.
That's wonderful.
All right, as of now, this is the Sky High Our City Tonight cocktail. Chelsea, thank you very much
You're
for taking some time. Cheers.
Okay.
Craig, we're at the back of the ship. What do they call that?
The stern, actually.
Stern,
yeah.
yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you're the engineer here. Can you talk about the operation with a boat like this? I mean, I should say yacht. We're not out today, but you do take it out quite often.
We do, actually. Much busier in the summer, of course, but we did actually have quite a few charters throughout the winter, which was very, very good for the company. Boats this size and commercial vessels require a boatload of maintenance, if you will.
Pardon the pun,
yeah, pardon the pun. So I take care of the boat's maintenance, and I just ensure that all the systems work before and during charters and whatnot. So.
And as Chef Marty said, boy, once you get out there, you got to have everything done because there's no coming back.
That's right. That's right. You have to be a bit of a MacGyver sometimes, but you know what? Usually we keep things. We keep things pretty ship shape, if you will, and things tend to work pretty good. It's a nice ship. I enjoy working on it very much. So, yeah.
Well, Bill, this yacht is having some great success. Tell us a little bit about the history.
Well, thanks. We are having a really good time of it right at the moment. It's a lot of fun. We're very happy to entertain all sorts of different people from all sorts of different kinds of things. So originally it was a bit of a party boat a few years ago, but we rebranded it a year ago into Pacific Yacht, and our intention is to make it one of Vancouver's top venues for good food, good atmosphere, and so we've been involved with this ownership team for about 4 years now.
Wonderful. Well, I can certainly vouch for the good food, good cocktails, great atmosphere. And it is kind of a party boat still, because I imagine even the meetings you come over here, people are having a really, really great time. Tell us some of the meetings that you're finding are the most successful here for your venue.
Well, we have an all-aboard meeting program right at the moment. We stay dockside so people can come and go if they need to, although we could cruise as well.
That's fun too.
And we have corporate board meetings, we have sales meetings, we have leadership team meetings. So it's a pretty wide range of corporate type events that we have with our all-aboard meetings.
Well, welcome back to the Pan Pacific Hotel, a landmark hotel right down by the harbor here in downtown Vancouver. Of course, you come out here from the rest of the country, you will see this hotel. And we're here at the famous Five Sails restaurant for our last wine segment with Harry McWaters.
And is this the saving the best to last here? What do we have?
This is our 2013 Syrah. This wine has won a number of awards, but included a platinum medal at the Okanagan Wine Festival. It was picked as the best red wine at Cornucopia at Whistler.
Oh, wow.
And today, it's my favorite.
Today, though. Today. You heard that from the owner. Today, it's his favorite. So.
We heard some rumblings, though, too, about liking wine better than your kids.
Well, some days I like all of our wines better than my kids, but I do like my kids, too.
I like wine better than my co-host. It goes back and forth. We're all okay.
Gosh.
Now, we always like to ask, Crystal Lee will ask you, with a wine like this, what are we pairing this with?
Well, this goes with a wide range of foods. If you want something simple on Tuesday night, like a nice pizza, maybe with some sun-dried tomatoes on it, works.
Okay.
But if you know, it's also great with barbecued lamb. This wine has got lots of character, lots of breadth of complexity, so it goes with a really wide range of foods.
Wonderful. And we understand that Time Winery itself is having its big opening. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yes, we've been under construction, it seems like forever. And what was originally the Penmore Theatre in downtown Penticton, everybody thinks this is a new concept. I started my career 50 years ago, exactly 3 kilometers south of this winery in Penticton. And we're really looking forward to being open. We're going to have a full food service. We'll operate a small theater there. And we're set up now, full production. And I can tell you that ribbon cutting will be a great day of relief for
And we cannot wait to invite ourselves, because we were there last fall when it was under construction. But hey, congratulations on that. And I always tease you by calling you the Sinatra of the Okanagan, because you've done...
You haven't heard me sing, that's why.
But when it comes to the wine, you're their version. And you are now into your 51st vintage?
The 2018 will be my 51st vintage, yes.
Congratulations.
I'm first to hit that in Canada. Hopefully I'm first of many.
Very nice. Congratulations.
Cheers.
And hey, thank you for joining us today. Not that we don't enjoy your daughter Crystal Lee being here, but it's good to see you, because it was, I think, about a year ago we had you on the show. But thanks for getting us here to Five Sails.
Oh, my pleasure. She lets me out of the valley occasionally.
Cheers.
Cheers. This episode of Spirits Up was brought to you by Time Winery and McWaters Collection.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Well, we've had a great time on Our City Tonight during this segment, and thank you to all the great people from Pacific Yacht Charters.
Yes, they certainly treated us well. We got some sunshine out. Hey, don't forget to follow us on social media, on Instagram, Twitter,
Facebook.
Faxing?
No,
faxing.
And you can't page Jim anymore.
Anyways, Our City Tonight. I'm Jim Gordon.
And I'm Lita Leapin.
We will see you on the next edition of Our City Tonight. They don't have faxes anymore, or pagers?
No. On those sunny days, and actually any day, to protect our eyes from UV rays,
Our City Tonight chooses Kingsley Eyewear. Well, it's a brand new year, and we want to welcome a brand new sponsor to Our City Tonight.
and we're welcoming Roots Canada. We're really excited to be partnering with them.